rhymes raining like confetti.
Welcome to the belly of the beast, to the den of the Illuminati, home of the almighty media. That's how powerful we are, that's how influential we are, and we're not stopping anytime soon, so get used to it. This is the Black Ops division of Flow Sports. We're dropping nuclear bombs today. The Austin Masonic Temple. This is the home of the Illuminati. I'm your host, Professor Hollywood Mike. Joining me in the middle this time, we got a special guest, current ADCC absolute champion, double gold champion, pound for pound #1 ranked grappler in the world, Gordon Ryan. We're going to talk a lot of stuff with him today about him moving to Austin, about a big announcement for next month. Over there, Razor Reed. He's got the strap. He's got the one of the belts for the event next week. In the back, we got Connor Johnson, Corey Stockton. Connor will be manning the YouTube chat, the Discord, all that stuff if you want to talk. So let's get this ad out of the way before we get going.
Love this stuff, by the way.
This one's sponsored by Bubs Naturals. Don't worry, Manscaped didn't go anywhere. Shave your nuts with Manscaped still. We got a whole bunch more new Manscaped out there, but we're just alternating. Bubs Naturals, collagen protein. Got some gummies over there.
Apple cider vinegar gummies. Been taking these for the last couple months. These are legit. Bubs Natural, collagen protein. They got all sorts of stuff. I got a little sick little mixing wand for my coffee. I don't know if you guys are into that, mixing wands. They sent us one of those. They hooked us up with a whole bunch of product. Bubs Natural.
If you want to get jacked like me,
jacked like Gordon.
I'm peak male body right here. If you want to get jacked like me, use code BUBSUBS for 20% off. They're going to be doing the submission bonus this weekend. We got a bunch of Happy Gilmore sized checks from them out there. It's $1,000 per sub this weekend.
They're supporting the podcast. They're supporting jiu-jitsu. Support them.
All right, so
cool stuff.
First off, before we get into, we got a whole bunch of shit to talk about. I think Gio Martinez is calling in to respond to Mikey last week. We'll talk about the WNX reality show. We'll talk about the event. We got a big announcement for Gordon. But first off, Gordon, you live in Austin now.
I live in Austin now. It was definitely a mission to get here, but we're here now, and this is the final. People are asking me, like, oh, are you going to stay in Austin? Are you going to move? No, this is the final destination. I told everyone, like, listen, if we move to Austin, I'm not moving again. That's what I said when I moved to Puerto Rico. I was like, I'm not moving again for, like, the next 5 years or something, but they dragged me to Austin. So now I'm in Austin, and I love it here. But I'm definitely not moving anytime soon. Austin's going to be my home for a while.
So you're already teaching?
We're teaching, yeah. Right now we're running classes out of RJ Austin temporarily until we find the space to set up our own school.
All right, Reed, you got any questions for him about the move or anything?
We've been hanging out with Gordon kind of all day a little bit. Got to check out Gordon's house. Got a video coming up tomorrow that'll feature some of that behind-the-scenes stuff with Gordon. But I feel like, Gordon, you're kind of like already like an honorary Texan. Do you feel like you've been wanting to be a Texan like maybe your entire life?
Yeah, I feel like I've lived my whole life in America, but I just arrived in America when I got
exactly.
here. I feel like I'm really in America now. So yeah, I mean the people here are just my kind of people. Just very down to earth. Super American. It's like the polar opposite of New York. Everyone says like, oh, like Austin's very liberal. Austin's this and that. Austin's like California. The city is to some degree, but Austin's bigger than just the city. Like once you start to get that, someone actually gave me a great quote the other day. They said the best thing about Austin is how close it is to Texas, and I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah, it's like Austin's a small little town, but it does not take long to get to Texas. Like it's all right there. So
Reed, another thing we got to touch on the WNX show. You did your casting call for it. What's going on with the WNX show? This reality show that's coming.
Oh man, we are excited about this one. Wait till you guys check out this WNX. Who's next? We officially announced it. We are jumping in the reality TV show game here, man. It's going to be the biggest, the best thing FloGrappling has ever done. I'm calling it right now. I'm so excited about it. We're still working out all sorts of logistics and everything like that. But what you need to know is that we're shooting in November. We're bringing 16 of the world's best up-and-coming grapplers here to Austin to duke it out for one final spot. If you're familiar with The Ultimate Fighter, it's a little like that. Going to be an awesome show. Can't wait for it. Like we said, like Michael said, we just put out the casting call. So if you think you got what it takes to be on the Who's Number One stage and fighting guys like Gordon or whoever it is, and then we want to know about you. We want to hear from you. Make sure you go to FloGrappling.com/ reality show and upload your video today. This is going to be some cool stuff. I promise you're not going to want to miss out on it.
So what kind of grapplers are you looking for this thing? I mean, I got white belts tagging me and shit online. I got people sending me stuff about kids. I don't know how many times you got to tell you, we don't give a fuck about no goddamn little kids, all right? I don't want nothing to do with little kids. Who are you looking for this show? What kind of people are you looking for?
It should be noted that the winner could possibly have a title fight against Hollywood Mike.
Whoa, that's what's on the table.
Especially if it's a kid.
All these people pulling out, I might end up in one of these brackets by the end of the week. But who are you looking for this? What kind of people are you looking for?
So it's going to be, we're looking for the best up-and-comers.
I'll fight a kid, by the way. I'll fight a kid at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I know you will, dude. Yeah. We're looking for the best up-and-comers, man. It doesn't matter really what your belt is. We're not really looking for white belts, but hey, if you got what it takes, we want to know. Open weight tournament. So if you're down to throw down with anybody, we want to hear from you. Whether you're small or you're big, it's going to be an open weight tournament. We're putting everybody in there, and yeah, man, we're just looking for the best. We're looking for entertaining. We're looking for excitement, and we're looking for the next generation of great grapplers here, man. That's what we're looking for.
So Gordon, what do you think about this idea about like a reality show, sort of centered around like the Who's Number One universe? Like to get more people out there known, build some more stars.
Yeah, I think it's great. People, what they really are looking for, most people are bored. They're just looking to sit around all day they're sitting around all day looking to be entertained. And like a reality kind of show like this is like exactly what people want. It's just drama. And then you have the drama from day to day, and then you have what actually matters, which is athletic performance. So I think it's a great mix of those two. Like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, for example. Like that's just useless, that show. Like shows like that are just useless. Like you actually get to see combat, you actually get to see athletes perform, but you have the drama mixed in there. So I think it's going to be great for the sport.
It'd be funny if we didn't even have any jiu-jitsu. It was just like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But like you said, people like the drama. That's why me and you move the needle. Connor, Corey, what's going on back there? Connor, what's going on with Discord, YouTube chat? Anybody?
Yeah, we got a bunch of people joining in. We already had 100 people joining in before the show ever started. So
Don't say that like it's a big deal. You're embarrassing us.
How many of them have signed up for WNX? For Who's Next?
How many of them have bought a fucking ball trimmer?
Not enough yet. We will get all of their balls shaved soon. But who's not here is Steve. Steve has abandoned us on the day that Gordon showed up.
Wow.
It's kind of messed up. But I hear he's going to be in town, so maybe we'll get a face-off for the Discord belt pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, quick summary before we move on to Gordon's announcement. Gordon and them are teaching currently out of Henzo Gracie, Austin, if you want to sign up. What time are you teaching, 12 and 6:30?
Weekdays, it's 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Weekends right now is 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. And they're doing month-to-month contracts so that when we do make a change to our final school, you're not locked into a contract provided you want to switch over. So pretty straightforward.
Reed, how do they apply to the show?
Yeah, go to FloGrappling.com/reality show, upload a video, make sure it's a fun one, make sure you stick out, make sure you kind of tell us what we need to know about you, but FloGrappling.com/reality show, make sure you upload your video.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You don't tag me and shit on Instagram. Some white belt tagged me in 50 posts the other day. I had to call in a drone strike on his ass. But, all right, so let's get to the announcement real quick before we move on. Gio's going to call in a few minutes. So, Gordon, next month, you're going to make your road to what are we calling this?
Road to recovery?
Road to recovery.
Road to recovery. You're going to do a match. Basically, explain to the people. No, without telling, we're going to announce the opponent this weekend.
Doing a match?
When me and Gordon's doing the post, all the sessions doing the post show, we'll talk about that later, but we're going to announce the opponent this weekend. But without announcing the opponent, explain to the people what you're going to do next month.
So we're going to have an exhibition match. Right now, my stomach is still messed up. Hopefully, my medicine should be here so I can start my treatment in the next couple of days. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. But until then, I still want to stay active. I still want to show the fans what I've been working on in the gym, the new stuff I've been working on. I still want to educate fans through matches, and I want you guys to be able to watch my matches and not just watch it for excitement, but get better at jiu-jitsu when you're watching my matches. So I'm going to do an exhibition match with an unranked guy as far as the flow rankings go. And it'll be 15 minutes, who's number one rules. But instead of submissions ending the match, it just constitutes a restart on the feet. So we'll go through a variety of positions. It'll actually be really exciting because I can play pretty freely, not worrying about getting submitted. Hey, he's not worrying about getting submitted. So it'll be a lot of action. I can put myself into deep submissions and get out. There'll be a lot of stuff that people in the gym see every day from me, but you don't really see in high-level competition because it means something and I'm trying to win. Whereas this exhibition doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't go into my record. Doesn't mean anything. I also wanted to do an exhibition match until I'm better, because people are always going to be like, oh, Gordon's just padding his record. He's fighting all these unranked guys. He won't fight any tough guys. Which, even though like guys like go to the Kentucky Open IBJJF and they beat like random guys from the middle of nowhere, and that goes on to like BJJ heroes and like, oh, I won this IBJJF Open, and that's fine. But if I start fighting anybody outside the top 5, they'll just tell me I'm fighting guys that are too old. Or even when I fight Wagner, who's like number one in his weight class, everyone's like, oh, doesn't count. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he's a number 1 ranked guy in his weight. So I wanted to do exhibitions against unranked guys, so I didn't have anyone bitching about that.
Oh, it's unranked guy, but it's MMA fighter. I won't say who it is yet. You know, this guy fights at a high level in MMA, so it's perfect for this, because he's going to come at you, and he's got nothing to lose too. It's not a real match. I mean,
of course.
So
just coming off a big UFC win.
I think the idea is they've diagnosed what's wrong with your stomach, right?
Yes.
So now you know how to fix that. It's going to take a little time though, but this is you getting back into action, so you can probably work your way back up to eventually be ready for Galvao next year. Is what I'm thinking, right?
Yes, that's the plan. I want to stay active, both for me, because I like to stay active. I like to stay visible, and just no matter whether the match matters or not, getting onto the competition stage and preparing for a competition is always something that's good for you as an athlete, and mostly for the fans. I don't want to have these fans watch all these shitty and boring jiu-jitsu matches. So at least I'll be back out there occasionally.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because it's it only been a little bit of time since you've taken this time off, but like, do you feel like you've missed competition? Do you miss coming to these Who's Number Ones?
Yeah, I definitely miss it. Even when I was commentating last time, I'm like, man, I should be here. Should be here competing. But my stomach is just not in a position where I can be getting ready for the world's best guys right now. I'm still training. Everyone's like, oh, are you able to train? Yeah, of course. I'm showing up every day and training, but it's just not what it should be.
I'm pretty sure you can still beat all these guys with a bad stomach. I mean, you're calling your sub.
I have been for the last 4 years. It's just, I feel like it's just so unprofessional now to keep doing it like that. And plus, too, like, traveling around the country for different doctors takes time. So like, I'm competing once a month or once every other month. There's no time to like fly to California, fly to this place, fly to that place, and see all these different doctors, and try to get medicines and treatments and stuff like that. It's too much to do when you're juggling, a competition camp, where you're getting ready to fight the best guys in the world. So just taking this time off where I'm not worried about having to prep for a high level guy, gives me more time to explore more options and see more doctors and things like that.
Connor, what's going on online? What's the reaction like to Gordon making a comeback? What are they thinking?
They're making their guesses. They think maybe Gilbert Burns. They think maybe Lionheart himself. Maybe Anthony Smith. There's a lot. But I will point out, I don't know if you caught it, but Gordon was really coming hard at the Kentucky IBJJF scene. I don't know what that was about. We're pretty much world-class down
Kentucky.
there in the bluegrass.
From bright red over here.
Yeah, that hurt, dog. I was over
It's pretty
here.
universally known that the further away you get from the coast, the less advanced jiu-jitsu you have.
That's fair. Well,
You're
bluegrass,
talking
Kentucky.
Texas state champion.
Yeah, I know. Jiu-jitsu in Kentucky's on the come up, but that's super fair. Aside from that, they got a lot of questions. One of them was saying, you say, and you feel like you're just on the next level from all these guys, but they want to know why you feel that. Is that because of how you're training? Is it a fight IQ thing? Is it because you have better coaches than a lot of the competition? What sets you apart?
It's because I actually know jiu-jitsu. If you just look at all the other guys, it's like, if you look at a 10-minute match, it's 9 minutes of inactivity and stalling on both players' behalf, and then it's like 30 seconds to a minute of action. Like, these guys just don't know jiu-jitsu for the most part. They've been training all their lives, and they just don't know a single move pretty much most of the time.
How's that possible? They've been training their entire life and don't know any jiu-jitsu.
Well, it's simple. So most of them start between the ages of like 4 and 6, 4 and 8. So you start doing anything at a young age, and you just instinctually learn how to move well. And now most of the guys who are like world champions and current, world beaters are between the ages of 25 at the very youngest, but most of them 30 to 40. You see like older guys now hitting their peaks at like near 40. You see Wagner, you see Cyborg, you see Andre. So if you start training when you're 5, even when you're 10, and now you're 40, I mean, you've been training for decades. So just instinctually, you get a lot of looks. You compete against a lot of guys. You train with a lot of different people with a lot of different styles. and you instinctually just move pretty well. So they can do enough to avoid danger. When things start to get dangerous, they can sense danger. They can pull out in a way. They can do just enough to avoid danger, and then they play a tactical game where they score an advantage or they score points, or even if there's no points or advantages, they score some kind of advantage in the judge's eyes. Like if it's a who's number one, like they'll hit a guard pass, right? And then they'll stall for another 10 minutes and they'll hit a guard pass. And then it's like 30 seconds of action and 14 and a half minutes of stalling. And that's just kind of how they made their career. Whereas with me, it's just constant action because I am actually trying to do jiu-jitsu. Like a perfect example is like, if you look at, I think it was the Grand Prix, where Victor Hugo, the IBJJF Grand Prix Nogi, where Victor Hugo competed against Cyborg. It's a 10-minute match, and there's literally like one move that's done. Like Cyborg like knee cuts and like gets it close to a pass, and like that was the only thing that happened the entire match. So yeah, it's just I know jiu-jitsu, and that is thanks to John.
Here's Gio right here calling. Let me answer. Oh shit.
Are you up on the Gio Mikey drama, Gordon?
A little bit, yeah. So I was there. I was commentating.
That's right. That's right.
Gio, what's up, man?
What up, brother?
Hey, what's up? So we got Gordon here. Say hi to Gordon.
What's up, dude?
What up, Gordon?
So it's me, Gordon, Reed, Corey, Connor. So we wanted to give you a chance to call in. Last week, Mikey called in. I'm sure you saw the video where he's talking about he wants to go with you first round. He wants to test his braking mechanics on you. You saw that video?
Yeah, I saw that video, and it got me pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie, it got me pretty pumped up and stuff. And it's cool to see that Mikey's actually like coming out of his shell and showing who he is for real. You know, that's who he really is right there. I like that Mikey a little better. I'm not gonna lie, it gets me a little bit more pumped up to compete against the evil Mikey or the whatever angry Mikey. I like that guy. I don't know, it just makes it more exciting for me to have another guy he's keeping it real. He really wants to break my legs. He wants to go in there and finish me and, show everybody that his braking mechanics are better than the last month or whatever when we competed. I wasn't the only one that talked about his mechanics. Obviously, like, Gordon broke down his video, talked about his mechanics a little bit. I don't know if that really got to him or what, but he's not happy that people are saying that his braking mechanics are not on point. I mean, they might be on point, but, I was defending and I was playing my game too. So he thinks that coming in there thinking that he's going to try to break my legs is going to be intimidating. Man, I thought that's what he was trying to do last time, That's what we always try to do, break each other's limbs. So I'm really hyped, really pumped up about that. And like I said, this is kind of fun. This is who really Mikey is right here, and I love that about him. I love that he's coming out, bringing the heat, and he's hungry, and I'm hungry too. So I think I'm going to come in there and just I'm ready to battle him anytime, anywhere.
What do you think about? Well, we're going to drop the brackets on Friday at the press conference. 5:30 Eastern on our YouTube. But what do you think about him saying he wants you first round?
I mean, whatever, first round, second round, last round. Like, I know we're going to compete this week either way, regardless. It's a tournament, and I know there's just put me in the same bracket at least. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say like do me first round or not. Like, that's up to you guys. But if we do first round, then we do first round. If we do second round, then we do second round. Like, I just want to compete against him this weekend, and I know that people want to see it, and he's eager to go out there and try to break my legs, and I'm as well ready to go. And he could try to break my legs. I'm gonna break his mind. I'll break his mental game. I'll break his head. He's gonna, he's already slowly breaking and showing that like he's not the same no more. Ever since I talked smack to him and called him out, just to test him, just to see how he would respond to that. And this is how he's responding. He's just angry now. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I wanted this whole time, just to show who he is, and to really be real about it. And, he's gonna come out there and try to like do some damage, like we all of us are gonna try. So I think it's gonna be very exciting matches for sure.
All right, so I'll kick it around to everybody here before we go. Let everybody ask you a question. We'll end with Connor. You'll pick one good one from the fans. Gordon, you got anything to say to Gio going into this event?
Yeah, and this may be a question you don't want to answer, but tactically, what do you think will be the deciding factor in a rematch with Mikey? What do you think you can improve technically and tactically in a match with the same rule set?
I think if I play my guard like he's been playing this guard. I was a little stubborn the last ADCC and at the ADCC event, and I came up and I just wanted to pass and play my top game. But I think if we both play like our bottom game and we play a lot of inverted kind of leg lock attacks, I feel like I'm pretty confident in those positions, and I feel like we'll have pretty good exchanges from there. I feel if any of us try to stand up and pass, I think, both of us are really good guard players, so it's going to be really hard to pass each other's guards. And I think, we can create a lot of opportunities if one of us try to pass. So if he tries to pass my guard, I'm going to be happy with that because I want to play more of my guard game. I know, he has good top game, but I know his bread and butter is his bottom game. So we might see a lot of, leg exchanges, inverted. I play a lot of inverted game. Kind of reminds me a little bit of my battle versus the Meow Brothers.
All right, you take that.
Gio, Gio, obviously you weren't expecting last week for, to get online and see all the stuff talking about Mikey and Mikey talking about you. Were you surprised to see that Mikey, kind of out of the blue a little bit, kind of went after you on the podcast? Was that a big surprise to you, or did you see that coming?
Not really, because that's like how that's how a competition battle should be. People should be trying to go out there and beat each other and win the match and make it exciting and, try to finish each other. That's what he should have been doing since day one. But, he was trying to take a different gimmick, I guess. He was trying to be like just like the good guy. But now he's realizing that, that's not really who he is and people see right through it. So I think now, he is I'm not saying he's like an evil person or anything like that. I'm sure he's a cool, good guy. But, when it comes down to competition, we all feel the same. We all want to go in there and battle and win. And, that's the truth right there. And, for him to just say, like, oh, I just want to go in there and have fun and do this and stuff, that's cool. But, you want to go in there and win. You want to be known as the best, like we all do. So I wasn't really surprised. It just, like, I think other people were more surprised, than I was. Like, that's about it.
Such a technical guy, obviously, Mikey. We know how good he is technically. Do you feel like the way to beat him is the mental game?
I don't think that's like the only way to beat him. You have to be technical with him too, and I feel like my technique can keep up with his technique. But I feel like the mental game is really important. Like we all, like no matter how good you are, we all have to battle with our mental game. We all have to be ready mentally to go in there and battle against the best guys in the world. And we all feel pressure. We all feel some kind of anxiety and stuff like that. And everybody deals with it differently. And I feel like I enjoy it. I have fun. Like. All that anxiety, all that pressure, I think becomes excitement for me. And I feel other people, when they feel that pressure, they don't like it. They don't like how it feels. And that's competition, baby. That's what it's all about. You got to get used to that feeling. And some guys don't like to really think about it, or they don't even, they try to avoid it as much as possible. And I think Mikey's the kind of guy that tries to avoid that. And, I'm the opposite. I'm embracing it, and I'm trying to bring the heat on him too. And so it could definitely be, help me out and give me an advantage if he's not going in there with the right mental state. But I definitely think there's more to it than just like the mental game.
Oh yeah, thanks, Gio.
Corey, what do you get? You got a question for him?
Yeah.
Something to say?
Gio, ultimately the last match against Mikey was decided on points, right? It was the ADCC rule set. How does the change in format kind of shape the way that you play differently against Mikey?
So I don't know if you heard that. He said, does changing to who's number one rules from ADCC rules change the way that you're going to play against Mikey?
Yeah, completely. I don't have to be as conservative. I don't have to play as safe, just because I don't want to give up points or make a silly mistake and, give up those points. And I could just go in there and freestyle and just have fun and really try to be the aggressor and try to get those subs, be aggressive with that. And I feel like I've always been good at that. That's always been my game. So, not thinking about the points as much and just kind of going in there and just freestyling and just flowing and trying to get my game plan going. I think that's the best way for me to compete at. I love who's number one rule set. It just kind of rewards everything. But I think the aggressor, the guy who's going for it the most, usually gets the win.
All right, Connor, one question from the fans.
Yeah, so Gio, you potentially got the most exciting bracket within the entire tournament. Outside of you, who is the one athlete to watch in your weight class?
Is this in terms of being exciting?
Whatever he thinks.
Okay.
So, like, the question is, who do I want to see? Like, who do I think is going to be exciting?
Yeah, who's the athlete to watch?
Obviously, it's
That's easy.
like guys like Cade. Like Cade is always putting on exciting matches, and he's hungry. He has that great energy that he just wants to go in there and just put it out there. And I know he's never disappointed. But we added a bunch of new guys like Damien and all these other guys that a lot of people haven't really seen that much. And I've been watching and following everybody in my division and just seeing all these guys that are upcoming guys right now, like, I don't sleep on those guys, and they're actually really exciting to watch because they pretty much have nothing to lose, and they just go out there and, like, have fun, really, and just leave it all on the mat. And, none of these guys are slackers. None of these guys are, like, guys that I could sleep on. They're all going to be coming through, trying to win, and they're all going to be trying to keep exciting matches and matches that people can remember. So I'm excited for, honestly, everybody in my division, but honestly, like, guys like Cade are always pumped, and, Damien is going to be, I think, fun to watch. And, even though he's my rival, like, Mikey's always going to be interesting to watch for everybody, even me. I want to see how he's going to compete in this format against, these 155ers, submission only. That's going to be kind of fun for me to watch as a, not only as a competitor, but as a fan of the game. I love it. I love these tournaments that have all the high-level guys involved and all the guys that want to win.
All right, Gio, thanks very much. Gio's coming out this weekend to try and get the lightweight belt. We got a featherweight belt out there in the office too, so you'll be in the mix for that one before long. But Gio, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be at the airport when you arrive.
All right, man. Excited to see everybody. Everybody tune in. Hope everyone has a good day today, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right, take it
See
easy.
you.
All
What
right.
a ledge.
So
Gio Martinez.
legend. All right, now let's get back to, now we got to talk about the event. I want to hear Gordon's opinions on the event because people are probably sick of hearing us talk about it at this point, but I want to hear Gordon's opinion on it. First off, Gordon, what would you say? Actually, there's been some changes since the last time we were under. Pedro Mourinho was out. Jacob Couch came in, right?
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
been so many replacements I can't even keep up with
Yeah,
them anymore.
Pedro Mourinho was out, and then our alternate also had COVID, so we just had to find somebody quick. Hillbilly Hammer steps in.
A great replacement.
It makes
though.
it tough. A lot of people
Great
say, "Why are you guys
replacement.
using Hulk? We're using one person per team. We don't want to risk fake matches or stuff." So
And Jacob's an exciting grappler, a finisher. He has been on the scene for a long time. He's out there, all these tournaments. So hell yeah, give him an opportunity.
he's got fans. That's important
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's got people that like him. And then today we haven't even announced this one yet, but it's coming. Luis Pons is out. Giancarlo Bodoni's stepping in. People at home might not know Giancarlo. Really good. He beat Hulk at Nogi Pans
Gordon knows
last
him.
year. He's a new guy. Yeah, Gordon knows him very well. Works for Fanatics and stuff, right?
Yeah, he's super, super tough. I've trained with him dozens of times, and he's like right on the cusp of like being able to beat the best guys on any given day. We saw a glimpse of that with Hulk, where he beat him at, I think it was Nogi Pans, He's very unheard of, which is actually an advantage for him because no one knows who he is. So he has that kind of shock value. Very good all around. Can play top, can play bottom. Dangerous from any position. Very, very positionally sound. He's going to be a great addition to that bracket.
So to sum up the event, we're going to drop the brackets at the press conference Friday, 5:30 Eastern. It'll be 4 athletes on each side of me. We're going to throw the brackets up. We'll get their reactions to that. So that's what you can find out the brackets. Saturday, 10 a.m. Central, first round, 20 matches. Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, semifinals. Sunday morning at 10 a.m. will be the consolation bracket, 6-person bracket for every division. Anybody who lost on Saturday competing for third place. Sunday night, 7 p.m. will be the finals. Me and Gordon will be doing post shows for every session besides session 3, besides the consolation. We'll be doing a pre-show for the finals. So Gordon will be involved out there with me breaking it down with Tom DeBlas on Saturday, with Shanji Barrow on Sunday. So Gordon, something I want to know. I mean, like you said, you haven't been able to keep up too much with all the pullouts, but what would be the division that you're most looking forward to?
That's tough. For me personally, to watch good jiu-jitsu, usually the lighter weights have better just overall jiu-jitsu. So from a learning standpoint and just as someone who studies jiu-jitsu, I think the lower weight classes is probably something that I would be interested. Me personally, just because I'm biased, I'm excited for my own weight division, the heavyweight division, because that's the division I should be in if I was healthy. So in terms of watching good jiu-jitsu, I think you're probably going to get a lot of that in the lower weight divisions. I think in terms of, for me personally, I think the heavyweight division is going to be the most exciting because those are all the guys I fight.
I wanted to ask you about somebody that we're really excited to see in that bracket, and I feel like he's a little bit of a wild card. We haven't seen him around the scene too much. Is Big O? I'm curious. I feel like he's like one of the only guys in that division you haven't fought against, right?
Yeah, he usually only competes at ADCC for the most part. Recently at least he used to compete a lot, but pretty much since I popped onto the scene, he would just do the big events, and he was always way heavier than me. In the ADCC weight classes, so I'm excited for him to come out. I'm mostly excited to see him compete under a submission only rule set because it's like the polar opposite of what he does in ADCC. Historically, he's has very tightly contested matches, and it's usually won by either points or a ref's decision, where most of the matches are standing. So he's going to have to change it up for who's number one, because it's going to be hard to play that game and get the nod under who's number one, like ref decision. So he's going to have to use submissions. He's going to have to go, come in and pass people's guards, take people down, and he's going to have to change his strategy up. So I'm excited to see how he changes his tactical strategy for who's number one rule set.
Big O versus Gordon for the heavyweight strap.
Yeah, if he gets that
I
belt.
watched that.
Would that be something you'd be interested in one day? Like once you get back up, obviously we're working your way back up to top form now. Once you feel comfortable, would you be interested in fighting somebody for this heavyweight title, the Who's Number One heavyweight title? I almost feel like the Who's Number One basically built around you, so it only makes sense that you're the heavyweight champ one day, right?
Yeah, I mean that'll definitely get done at some point. As soon as I'm healthy, I will. I mean, pretty much whoever wins this is just the interim champion, and it doesn't really count because I'm the actual champion.
Do you think, obviously the betting lines have Kynan as the heavy favorite, do you think anybody challenges Kynan here, or how do you see it go down?
I think if anyone had to bet money, I think Kynan's the easy favorite. However, I was telling these guys before, he's like kind of a retard sometimes. Like he goes out and he looks unbeatable in the general population's eyes in some matches, and then he will just go out and get heel hooked by like Lachlan or like a guy way smaller than him, or get like lose to Cyborg. Like guys he shouldn't be getting heel hooked by. He's just like getting his leg broken by. So there's always that X factor of just will he just do some retard move and get finished. That being said, there are two guys who have exceptional leg locks for the heavyweight division. Which is Tex and Kyle Boehm. I think Kyle has a better chance of beating Kynan just based on the fact that I believe his guard is a little bit better than Tex's. So if it comes down to Kyle versus Kynan in this particular rule set, I think in an EBI rule set, Kyle actually wins relatively easy. If it was EBI rules, I think if it was ADCC rules or IBJJF, Kynan wins pretty easily. Who's number one is going to be interesting. I still have Kynan as a favorite, but it'll be basically contention upon can Kynan pass his guard and hit a quick score? Because once Kynan scores, he's just going to play a KG stall game. That's what he always does. If Kyle can hold him off and not get past or not get in a situation where he's down in the judge's eyes and he can attack Kynan the whole time, then he'll probably get the nod for a ref's decision. So I think it's going to come down to whether or not Kynan can pass Kyle's guard. Or latch a front headlock as Kyle's overextending, trying to attack his legs. Kyle's guard is decent, not great. Kynan's no-gi passing is atrocious, but he does have a front headlock where he can dive on it and use that threat of submission to actually either submit Kyle or get to a position of advantage. So that's going to be an interesting match should it happen.
What about Mason? Mason Fowler's another big name in there.
Mason can do well. I think he's going to be a little bit small for that bracket compared to the rest of the guys. I think he walks around under 200 pounds, around 200 pounds, I believe. And he's a guy who, he doesn't really do jiu-jitsu for the most part. He's kind of a guy who's very positional, and I don't think this rule set favors him as much as it does the other guys.
Corey, you got anything for Gordon back there?
Yeah, speaking of the heavyweight division, Giancarlo, last-minute replacement. Is there a match in this division that you think gives Giancarlo the best chance of moving forward?
I think Giancarlo could beat pretty much anyone on any day, provided he.
Wow, he's that good.
Yeah, yeah. You saw it with Hulk. He had 2 matches in the day. He won one, he lost one. But I do think that on any given, pretty much at the highest levels, anyone on any given day could win. That's why you see so many rematches, and some of them go one way, some of them go the other way. It's only pretty much like with me, where if Gordon's competing, he's going to win. But he can win just as easily as anybody else. I do think. Well, I know Giancarlo's weaknesses, and I'm friends with him, so I'm not going to announce how to beat him. But there's definitely some matches that favor him more than others. There's definitely some matches I can see him having more issues with than some others.
Connor, what's going on online? What are those degenerates saying?
Man, Orlando Sanchez is in the Facebook comment section.
I knew he was going to be watching. I knew he was going to be watching this.
He said, "What's up, guys?" And he also said he's been studying your DVDs, Gordon. So
then he's guaranteed to win. He's got to win.
Yeah.
He's got to do it for America.
Besides that, people are chatting. They had some questions about once you come back to compete, whether you would be down for competing against the B team. But I know that's a long ways off and things change. But I didn't know if you'd like to comment.
I mean, if they're in my brackets, yeah. It depends on what ADCC division I'm going to do. If they allow me to do it this year, I might go minus 99, or if I go plus 99, I'll be the first person to win 3 divisions. And I know Nicky Rod will probably be in that division. So if they're in my brackets, I'm going to have to compete against them, I guess. As far as super fights, if they want to compete, sure, we can compete.
I love that answer.
All right, Gordon. So the 5 divisions, I think everybody would be interested to hear who you got winning these divisions. Obviously, you haven't seen the brackets yet, but just like who do you think the favorites are? 155, you got Mikey, K, Gio, Cisneros, Colabate, a few other people.
I think if I had to put money, if most people had to put money on this, I think the favorite would be Mikey. I think that there's guys that are very good in that division. And I think that there's definitely guys who could win that division that are not Mikey. But I think if I had to put money, I think Mikey's game stylistically matches up very well for this rule set. Don't sleep on Damien. I know this is going to sound biased because Damien is my teammate, but he, I mean, this is what he trains for. We train to go out and submit people, so he's going to be a guy who's not looking to stall or do anything. He's going to be a guy attacking the whole time, so that'll be really interesting.
You don't think the size will be a problem for Mikey? Like, say, against Cade Rotolo, he might be giving up, 20-something pounds or something?
20 pounds is always somewhat of an issue, but I think that Mikey's game isn't really reliant on physicality, on physical attributes, minus the fact that his legs are like shorter than they're supposed to be, so it's like impossible to hold him in an ashigarami, and his guard retention is really good because it's like feet like pommel into crevices that they shouldn't be able to. He's a guy who plays an inside position game really well. So it's hard to get chest to chest. It's hard to actually apply pressure to Mikey. He's inverting. He's keeping frames inside. He does really well with his frames. So even though he's going to be a lot smaller, it's actually a very difficult thing to do in terms when you're trying to actually apply pressure to him to actually get past his guard or hold him down.
What do you think about his progression so far since he's gone all in on no-gi on his leg lock game and stuff? And what do you think about the no-gi Mikey?
I think he's made tremendous progress in the short amount of time. He's made more progress on the lower body attacks than like most of like the no-gi experts have made in the last 20 years. Like he's trying to get better at it, which is I admire that a lot. And he's really enveloped himself in what is no-gi jiu-jitsu, and obviously he used to do Achilles locks a lot in IBJJF, but there was no heel hooks. So I think he's doing a great job of unifying the Achilles locks with the reaps and the heel hooks now that he's doing more submission only, all subs legal tournaments.
All right, 185, the middleweight division. This one's a fun division too. Craig pulled out, Wiltsy pulled out, but you still got Ty. You got Miki.
That next generation.
Division it really
now.
is.
It's all these young guns.
Why don't you tell them who's in the division?
Yeah, a bunch of killers in there. Of course, you got Dante. He's kind of like the veteran, but you got Ty. You got Mika. Taza is in there right now. You got Roberto in there. John Blank, of course. Thor is in there. Plenty of big names. What's your take on this one? We want to know who you think's going to win, though.
So this was pretty clear cut to me when the brackets first came out. I thought that Craig had a pretty easy road to victory. I think that he's much better than everybody in that bracket. But then Craig got hurt, so Craig pulled out. So now I think it's pretty much anyone's game. I can see any one of these guys winning on any given day. And I think if you run that bracket 10 times, you get like 7 different winners. So I think this is going to be tightly contested with everyone.
Who's the one that doesn't win, Taza?
Hopefully Taza loses. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Hopefully Taza loses.
You run it 10 times, you get 7 different winners. Taza never wins. just kidding, Oliver, if you're watching. But all right, keep going.
I think this is anyone's game. I think that obviously the rule set favors Taza a lot. He does mostly submission only stuff. I think that Mika Galvao is really impressive. He competes well under all rule sets, and I think the best thing about Mika is that his ability to compete, his ability to keep a pace, his ability to stay calm under pressure. I think the best the best thing about him right now is his ability to actually get onto the stage and compete. He's very technically talented as well. Very good submissions, can play top, can play bottom, good positionally, good with submissions. He's a guy who's about to break onto the world-class level.
Is he somebody? He's only 17 years old. Obviously,
know,
he's still
crazy.
growing. Is he
Crazy.
somebody that you're looking at, like in a couple years, he might be one of your challengers?
Depends on how big he gets. He's very short compared to me,
Yeah.
so he might not be in my weight class. I think he'll be thicker but smaller. I don't think he'll be quite as big as I am.
Gotta get that Paul Harris size.
Yeah. But even Paul Harris is only like 215. Like I'm like 235 right now. So I don't know if he'll get quite as big as me. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be a world beater in the next few years, provided he stays in the same trajectory he's on right now.
I think a lot of people have like Ty, Roberto, Mika. Those are the ones a lot of people are picking. They're excited about the young guys. But out of like the vets, out of like Blank or Dante or these guys, who do you think one of them could pull this off?
100%,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, I think it's anyone's game. I think that Roberto has a great chance of winning it, provided he has the correct bracket. I think that if you put Roberto with a guy who does like your typical normal one-on-one jiu-jitsu, like a guy like Cyborg, like he gave Cyborg all he could handle. So I think if you give Roberto the right picks, I think he could easily win. If you put Roberto on the bracket with a side full of leg lockers, that's notoriously the hole in his game. So I think that's going to be tough
Yeah, I
for
think
him.
he's lost to Blank before. I think he lost to Blank at trials
Yeah,
before.
trials. Yeah. For
Yeah,
third
so
place match.
I think that could go either way. I think if you put him with if you put him on the opposite side as the leg lockers, I think he's going to do very well. If you put him on the side with the leg lockers, I think he's going to struggle a little more. Not to say we can't win, he can't beat them, but that's going to be the toughest path to victory for Roberto.
Corey, why don't you set him up for the women's 115? Because he's basically chose Kynan before. The women's 115, break it down for him. Who's in there, and then we can hear Gordon's opinion for it.
Tammy Musumeci, Grace Gundrum, Aisa Bastos, Tavi Alaquin, Jessica Khan,
Daniel Kelly.
Daniel Kelly.
It's a hell of a division. One of the
Yeah.
most exciting women's divisions of all
It's
time. First off,
one of the true divisions that stayed from when we announced it.
yeah, no girls pulled out.
hell yeah.
Shout out to the
Shout
girls. They're
out.
way tougher than the guys. The guys are pulling out. The 185 alternate spot is cursed. We've lost 5 alternates already.
Well, guys are the only one that have the ability to pull out, so that's a
There you go.
cut.
Who are you thinking about for that division? Obviously, some of these girls have had great success on the event. Maisa, Grace, Jessica Khan, Daniel Kelly. They've all had great performances on who's number one. Tammy's a big
Yeah,
wild
all
card
of them,
coming
like,
back in, right?
All of them young girls
Yeah.
again, right? Except for Tammy.
Yeah, I'm excited for Tammy because, I mean, she was, like, competing at Black Belt Worlds, I think, when I was, like, a purple belt. So excited to see her come back. If I had to put my money on someone, it would probably be Maisa, just because she's been so successful. She's been winning everything. I think she just lost recently, I think, at, what is it, was it Pans or what?
Yeah, in the gi.
Yeah, in the gi.
Yeah.
I think she lost. But, like, besides that, she's just been winning everything for years. Gi and no gi. She's been beating everyone pretty convincingly. If not submitting them, just, like, racking up a ton of points and beating them. So I think if I had to put my money on anyone, it would probably be her.
What do you think about Grace? Grace, obviously, the fans love her. She's been around EBI since she was a little kid. Like, what do you think about Grace Gundrum?
Yeah, Grace is awesome. I've known Grace. I mean, I used to compete on EBIs 5 years ago with her doing, like, the little super fights. So I think she's great. I think her game is very set up for this rule set as well. I think she can definitely do well. I think she can definitely win. I'm just basing their last match where Maisa managed to beat her. I think she got close to passing or passed her a couple times. So I'm just basing it off that. But I think Grace is definitely one of the favorites as well.
Women's heavyweight, you think anybody's taking out Gabby Garcia? I mean, you got Elizabeth Clay, Anna Carolina, Rafaela Guedes, Aaron Harp. There's some good names in there, Kendall Rusing, but do you think anybody's dethroning Gabby there, or do you think Gabby's taking the belt?
If I had to put my money on anyone, it would be Gabby, just because of her, historical success.
We got plenty of money here for you to put down on these guys. So
Okay, well we can definitely run some betting lines. But I think Gabby's probably the favorite. Yeah, if I had to put money, I'd put it on Gabby.
Yeah, gotta be right. All right, Connor, anything from the fans before we get out of here?
Man, I don't think so. They really love Gordon on the show, so please
He'll be
come
back.
some
I
more.
thought I
Keep
saw-
making
I
it
live here
interesting.
now, so we can do this more often.
He lives here. Now, maybe we got to kick the King Ryan show back off with me and you
Yeah,
actually in
let's
studio.
do it.
Would be sick.
I thought I saw
But instead of interviewing people, it'll just be me and Hollywood Mike just roasting shitty jiu-jitsu clips.
Just talk shit
that
about
sounds
people.
awesome.
Yeah, I think people would love that. Me and you in the studio.
I thought I saw Dylan Dennis in the chat. Was he not in there?
Ooh,
No,
I
he
don't
wasn't in
think
there?
he can make it.
My bad.
right
Okay,
now.
sorry. I thought I saw.
I'm posting an amazing video today. There's a video of him. There's a video of him, and because he just got arrested in Seaside apparently. There's a video.
See, I used to go there a lot when I was a kid.
There's a video of him. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. There's a video of him with his back taken by some guy, bouncer or random guy. I don't know. His back's taken. His hands are flailing around like this, and he's getting strangled like in a club in Seaside. Like he's getting strangled on camera.
How the hell did you get this video?
Someone sent it to me. As all my fans do.
They seek you
So
out. Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm going to do, if the person who is strangling Dylan, if you reach out to me, I'm going to give you ADCC tickets for free. Wow. So the person who had Dylan's back and was strangling him, the random guy in the video, if I can get a hold of you, you have free ADCC tickets. Also, I'm going to talk to BJ Fanatics about a back take video. So we can maybe set that up as well.
Jesus Christ,
Jeez.
this guy's going to be famous. Like that guy who beat up Kimbo and then got a UFC contract.
Exactly.
The Boston cop. He just
Fucking
passed
Seaside
away.
Heights. That's where I
RIP.
used to go every summer before I moved to Illinois when I was a little kid. So to sum it up, the events this week and Saturday, Sunday, brackets drop Friday. Gordon will be there working with me. Gordon is living in Austin now. He's got a match next month. It's going to be an exhibition. We're going to announce the opponent this week. It's going to be against the UFC fighter. Reed, how do they apply for the WNX reality show?
Go to FloGrappling.com/reality show. Upload your video. Wow us. Make it individual. It's gonna be sick. I promise you're gonna want to be a part of this. Who's next thing?
One thing before we get out of here. This show is presented by Bubs Naturals. Feel great and do good with Bubs Naturals. Boost joint health and improve recovery time with the best collagen protein on the planet. Plus 10% off all profits go back to charity. Use code BUBSUBS for 20% off at checkout today. It's not quite as entertaining as my ads when I talk about shaving your nuts, but go get this shit. It's healthy. It's good for you. Get jacked like me and Gordon Ryan. All right, take it easy. God bless you. Go fuck yourself. Watch this weekend.